Okay, so many people know who Colin Flaherty is. He's the guy that got popular by posting YouTube videos about the truth on black on everyone violence. And that means black on everyone, black on white, black on Hispanic, black on Asian, black on animal, black on black on everything. Okay? Now, what's interesting about Colin Flaherty is, and this is not new, he does not like being called a racist, which is hilarious because in the line of work he is going to be associated with racists because the way things are today, if you tell the truth about anything about race, you're considered a racist. Whether you just say race exists, race is biological, race is hereditary, you're considered a racist. Now, what happened with Colin Flaherty is I followed him on Twitter, and I tweeted out to the president that the president needs to stop appointing people that hate him, that are Zionists and black, like that Omarosa girl and Kushner and Ivanka, and start understanding that the people that voted for him were white Americans. Now, people don't understand this, and I've said this in the past. I'm actually pretty mellow as far as racism goes. I'm a racial realist. I'm a racist in some respects with some races. Now, what's funny with this is this. I told Donald Trump basically, you need to look at the facts that white Americans voted for you and basically start doing what you said you would do when you were elected. Okay. And another gentleman, one of these stupid Trump supporters told me to, get effed racist and all that nonsense, because they're under this mindset that this wasn't really how things were, but anybody knows the people that supported Trump were David Duke, Richard Spencer, Jared Taylor, and their people. And Colin Flaherty had also supported Trump. The problem with Colin Flaherty is, though, he lives in this imaginary world like Jared Taylor, where he doesn't understand that, whether you're David Duke or Cynthia McKinney or whoever else, you're going to be called a Nazi if you tell the truth about race. And Cynthia McKinney is a black lady that simply just, was in Congress and tells the truth about having to take an oath to Israel and basically tells the truth about Israel. Okay, she was put in prison trying to get crayons and food to the Palestinians in Gaza. A very interesting woman. She's very liberal. She's not at all like David Duke, who has consistently been a true conservative for, I don't even know, 40, 50 years. But for Colin Flaherty to basically, what Colin Flaherty said is only an enemy would basically put my name with David Duke's. Well, the fact of the matter is, if Colin Flaherty is afraid of having his name put with David Duke's, the only person for about 50 years now that has actually fought for white civil rights and equal treatment of all people, then it shows how much of a coward he is and how pathetic he is and how weak he is. This shows that he is afraid to, he uses the same standards that people use to judge him to judge David Duke. Now, what's funny about this is, if you want to go by these weird, arbitrary standards, I'd like to say this. David Duke still has a YouTube channel. Colin Flaherty doesn't. So if you want to use these imaginary ways of saying this person's racist and that person's not, YouTube obviously feels Colin Flaherty is more racist than David Duke because they banned Colin Flaherty. David Duke's still alive and well on YouTube. The other thing is this. This is why Castizos will replace Anglos, Celts, and Germans. Anglos, Celts, and Germans have this pathetic weaseliness where they have to grovel to everybody that isn't white, okay? Castizos don't, okay? The other thing is this. I will say this. I'm very proud that Argentina shot down abortion. That is something that cannot happen in the United States or other parts of the Anglosphere. And the reason why is because of the fear. Oh, you don't want to look like a womanizer. You don't want to look bad. You don't want to look like people are judging you. And this is the reason that the Angles, or the Anglo-Americans, the Celtic Americans, and the Germanic Americans, which are collectively the Anglo-Americans, are not going to be making it very much longer. And what's funny is people might call me racist for having this view. It's not a racist view. It's an honest view. Just like when Colin Flaherty points out the truth of black on everyone violence. That's not made up. But what is made up is Colin Flaherty calling David Duke, who is clearly not a racist if people have followed David Duke. He is no more a racist than Colin Flaherty when he uses terms like the ladies or the fellas, or uses black vernacular in order to make it a little bit more comical, as he chomps on a cigar like Sigmund Freud talking about penis envy. Now, this is my problem with Colin Flaherty. He is a puss. He goes on and on and on. He wants to tell the truth, but he's afraid to deal with being lumped in with people like Dr. Duke, which shows he's a weakling.